Jinnah who wanted to create Pakistan. It was the white man who wanted to create Pakistan as well. Even Nehru did not wanted to take this part of into their own government,
No, no,
and
Nehru and Gandhi were
I
the
think
most. See,
yeah. But I think Pakistan would have been fine if this Afghan jihad and all of that would not have been there, because radicalization to basically Pakistan provided a lot of fuel for fighting against the USSR. This human resource was mainly from Pakistan and from Afghanistan. So their
no, no, but
madrasas
when
were
the
set up using the American money and the the money from Saudi Arabia, and for the matter of faith from many other Muslim countries as well. So America also funded all of these madrasas that are there in Pakistan right now, and they have been contributing to this rise of extremism in Pakistan. Let's say there was no Pakistan, and India was the country which was bordering Afghanistan at that time. So, there wouldn't have been any option for India even to stay out of this. I think you would have, Pakistan was in a way, even if they did not wanted to go into this, there would have been a lot of problems there. So I don't think that uh, this generation, which is going, we are going through right now, they hold these extreme religious views, but these extreme religious views started from the Afghan war, and Afghan jihad was the one thing that was the most, that can
hello.
be deemed as the most terrible thing that ever happened to Pakistan. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, he keeps dropping. So Numan is there. So hi, how are you? Hello, Numan. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Walid, and everyone. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? So what do you have?
I'm fine. I want to talk about the root cause of a lot of problems we people around the world face. Not only Pakistan, India, or third world countries, because there is a root cause of all problems. I think which
Mhm.
creates, which differentiates between people and which divides people. And that is ideology. I think we should talk about it today.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So
So,
yeah,
can I carry on?
yeah, definitely. You can carry on.
Okay. So today I want to talk about neutralism. Neutrality. That is, if you see, if you take any society, it has some problem.
Yeah.
And if you try to find out the root cause of that problem or those problems, because some societies, like third world countries, there are a lot of problems. And when we try to find out the root causes of those problems, we find out that uh, the societies which have a lot of problems, people over there in these societies, in these particular societies, they are people basically believe in a lot of ideologies and sub ideologies. And now we see that there are ideologies which we call religious ideologies, like Islam, we have Judaism, we have Christianity, we have Hinduism, we have a lot of other religions. We see then there are a lot of subdivisions of these religions. Like in Christianity, we have Protestants, we have Catholic, we have Orthodox. In Islam, we have Shia, Sunni, and Wahhabi, Deobandis, and a lot of them are there. And then there are some ideologies which are based on nationalism.
Yeah.
For example, I was talking to one of my friend in Switzerland, and he was telling me that the people of Switzerland, the not immigrants, not migrants. He told me that a lot of people, they are very aggressive, and they are nationalists, and they are racist,
Hmm.
but they cannot show their racism just because of one thing, because they understand that there is a thing which we know as rule of law. So, rule
Yeah.
of law, I mean, the system there is preventing them to show their aggressiveness.
Yeah.
So, if you will look around, I mean, in Pakistan, India, even in America, even in Mexico, Ukraine, Belarus, in every country, you will find people who are, I mean, divided by ideologies.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, uh, if one country has one problem, I mean nationalism, that is okay, it can be dealt somehow. But
Yeah.
then there are countries like, for example, I will take Pakistan because I'm from Pakistan and you are from Pakistan, and we know what problems we have. Like in Pakistan, we have a person who says that I am a Muslim. Then he says, I am a Shia Muslim. Then
Yeah.
he says, I'm a Punjabi, or I'm a Pashtun, or I'm a Baloch. So, and then he has some other problems like he's from some sect, or he's from some particular tribe. Uh, Even if we go to Pushtun, they say, I am Pushtun and I am Yusuf Zai. And he will start telling you, same thing is with Punjabis. Punjabi will tell you, I'm Punjabi and I'm Jat.
Yeah.
And then he will start you telling you a lot of trash about this, I mean, tribe. He will say, we were this, we were that, our forefathers did this, our fore, I mean, these ideologies, it doesn't matter they are religious or they are nationalist, or even now what I say about communists in Pakistan. So they are also, I mean, becoming a lot popular in our society, because they are telling people the lie that only communism
Yeah.
can feed.
Solve all your problems.
Yeah, it is same like a mullah says that only Shariat can
Yeah.
solve every problem. So the
One
communist will
one
be,
medicine for all illnesses is a lie.
yeah. Then the communists, the socialists, they are telling people that if there will be communism, your all problems will be solved. And I know that what is communism, because I have been to 3 or 4 communist countries, and I have heard a lot of stuff about communism, and I see a lot of victims of communism around. You see, because where I live, it was this country was run by communists for 70 years. So all these uh, ideologies, basically, what they do, they they make us sure that we are good. For example, communism or Shariat or Punjabis. So we are this, we are that. So they make us think that we are. For example, I'm a Punjabi and I'm better than you because you are a Saraiki. Why? Because my forefathers did this, and blah 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 blah. So, and what communism tells a communist, that only communism is
Yeah.
the solution of every problem, and only communists are the intelligent people. And then they start thinking that Ghalib is dull, Noman is dull, this man is dull. I am a communist and I have read 5 or 7 books and I know everything better than everyone. So basically, these ideologies, what I have seen, they uh, divide people. First, they tell them that you are different from others. Then, on this basis, they divide people from each other, and that is the biggest dilemma we are facing all over the world. Basically, because I personally have gone through all this stuff, and now I think that if you believe in something, uh, at least what you should do, you should put in your pocket, and you should not show it to me. So my point is to be neutral, and it is, believe me, it is one of the very uh, toughest thing which I have done with myself.
Yeah. So I think there is no utopian solution to all the problems because uh, everything that we have, though it be religion or though it be an ideology like communism, or if people think that democracy is going to solve all their problems, it cannot. Why? Because uh, for a religion, a good brotherhood of human beings is whatever they say. If Christians say that everyone becomes a Christian, and they say that if everyone becomes a Christian, the world will be much more peaceful. Or if Muslims believe that if everyone becomes a Muslim, the world will be peaceful. This is basically a utopia because, first of all, it is never going to happen. And secondly, if it even happens, you religions definitely lack the depth or lack the flexibility that a human society needs. And I think same is the problem with Marxism or communism as well, because they also lack the what you would say, the flexibility. Secondly, even Marxism leaves, communism also leaves a lot into the hands of a person's intent. So we cannot just say that people are going to have good intentions. They just believe that communists are going to have good intentions as a default. But it does not happen because we have seen that human beings are capable of really good things as well, and human beings are totally capable of doing the worst things as well. Why? The reason is like there is no perfect system, there is no utopia. You cannot put utopian solutions into everyday problems. you know those problems will never be solved by, and as we have seen that when it came to the Russian Federation, you would know much better than me that they kind of planned everything. They thought, okay, people would be living in high rise buildings and they would have elevators. But now we know that they make 15-story buildings and they don't have electricity to put elevators there because they don't have that many power stations there. And they think, okay, they were kind of making these neighborhoods which had the shops there as well, which had a school there, which had this hospital there as well. But in the end, they did not had that kind of resources to build everything there. So people are living in those 15-story buildings, and they have to just go from the ground level all the way to 15th story using their own legs. There are no elevators there. And the elevator places are still there, but in the end, they were never able to put elevators there because what they thought was they planned everything. They thought this theory is going to work, but when it was practically applied, it just failed. It miserably failed. One day there was a shortage of milk. The next day there was shortage of bread, and people were standing in lines for getting bread, and the bread was never there. So, and they refuse to connect themselves with the main capitalist economy, and in the end they failed miserably because if we see USA was a world power, Russia was also a world power. USA was a capitalist country. It was doing much better. There were no shortages. There was nothing like that. And the people were able to earn their own wage and pay for their own bills. But in Russia, the government was paying for everything, but people still had the quality of life was still too poor. So The communist experiment kind of failed.
No, in Russian, I mean, in the Soviet, communist Soviet Union, there was, I
Yes,
mean, maybe you know a little lesser than me. Let me tell you, the problem was not communism. The problem was the basic human rights, which let people think about that something is wrong.
yeah.
I recently, yesterday, I posted about it. And that is the story of my father-in-law. That how did he start his own money changing? I mean, money changing business, and he was caught. He was put behind the bars, and we are discussing with a socialist that he is trying to tell me that all the solution of the world's problem is in socialism or in communism. And I'm trying to tell him that the communists, they did well. Yes, we after I mean, after Second World War, there was a boost. I mean, there was a race in progress. The Americans were doing one thing, and the Russians were doing other thing. So they were like it was like a Formula One race. So
Mhm,
at the one end they were Soviets, and on the other hand they were, I mean, Americans. But they did well. The problem erupted when people started thinking. You see, after, I mean, 75, I mean, if you see the history of Soviet Union from 65 to 75 or 78,
mhm,
1978, it was the golden area of Soviet Union. People had everything. But
mhm,
then what happened? People started thinking that, okay, we the government is, I mean, offering me a house. Government is offering me free education. Government is offering me 1 year, once in a year, I mean, a trip to the hills or trip to the seaside. That is okay, but where are my basic rights? For example, my father-in-law, he just started thinking that my basic pay is 500 rubles. Why I cannot earn 1000 rubles? When he started discussing these things with other communists, they said, no, you cannot earn. Why? Because if you will have 1000 rubles and all others will have 500 rubles, the other people who will be having less money than you, they will start thinking that why he is having 1000 and we are having 500. So that will make some problem. And my father-in-law, he said, no, I decided that I will have 1000 or 2000 rubles 1 month because I want to earn, and there is nothing bad with it if I want to earn. So I mean, it was the period when people started thinking that enough is enough. I want to use my mind and I want to earn more. The basic idea of communism was to feed people, to give them food, to give them shelter, and to provide them a basic, I mean, basic needs of everyday needs of life. But then then they started to think that why I cannot have some more. Если что, скажешь нет. So that was the main thing. Then people started thinking. So everything went, I mean, the other way. And people started disbelieving the government, which was feeding them very well. Now, all the problems which these ex-communist states are having, it is that the transition from a communist. Который? Отдай. Покажи обоих. Скажи только пока вот это и все. Вот это, смотри, вот это 40, нет, 35, вот это 30. So then now the problem is that these countries have some problem in transition. A lot of people are still communists in thinking, but the other people want more. So the people are divided into two different, I mean, streams. One people want the same thing which they had before. The other people want something, some more than they want. So that is the problem now happening in Ukraine and other Soviet states. Let me come back. You carry on, I just come back.
Okay, okay. Okay, so Murani is there. Hello. Hello.
Man, you put me to sleep, man. Hold on one second, okay?
No, the gutka put you to sleep, not me.
Man, this guy made
You
me
heard?
sleep.
The gutka put you to sleep.
That dude.
Okay, so what do you have today?
Okay. To refute this person, and I've heard this in the same channel, that the a good person does good and an evil
Yeah,
does evil.
yeah,
You're saying, and it's very well verified. A good person does good and an evil does evil, but it takes religion
yeah.
for a good person to does
To do
good.
evil.
Bad, I mean evil. So this
Yeah,
is your saying, and it's very well verified. Anyway, um, man, this guy put me to sleep. Um, sir, I have a question.
yeah.
Um, why cannot we file a petition in a UN humanitarian issue about the childs get raped and forced conversion and blasphemy? Why cannot we do that?
Yeah, it is already there, and Numan is a human right. He's becoming a human rights lawyer. Sorry, he's becoming an international laws lawyer. So definitely he would have some answers to that. But I think UN takes notice of all the gross human right violations that happen there. So I think Numan would also have something to say about it. Like why cannot we report this to UN, and why cannot we make an appeal to UN to tell Pakistan to stop these human right violations or this blasphemy law accusations and all of that.
Sorry, I was away. So, as far as I have understood, your question is that why a lot of hell is happening and we are not going and we are not planning to report it to the international courts or criminal courts. That is the question.
Uh-huh. Kind of.
Okay. Okay. The first thing is that this is one of the biggest problem of many third world countries. They do not have international lawyers. It is not the case only with Pakistan. It is the case with India, with all the developing or underdeveloped developed countries. So many people, many activists, even they can come to the social media, they can shout, they can make a, I mean, loud voice, but then they don't know what to do next. Your question is, I can answer it in a way that yes, we should do something at the international level. But people in Pakistan, people in India and other countries, they don't know how to file a petition in
Mhm.
the international
Can I pause
courts.
you? Can I pause you here? Can I pause you here?
Yeah.
Um, Haris Sultan has just done Ali Dawa's petition, and I have voted for it. And why cannot we do something like that at least?
Yes.
No, that petition is not that is a change.org petition. So change.org petition is like a lot of people sign, and then you can present
It is
it to
just on the
a
social
government
media, like
official or something like that. Yeah, this is
on the
kind of a social media, but Aman
social
is
media.
talking about a UN. Yeah.
Yes, because I'm reminding something about Baloch people. Balochistan is a province in
Oh
Pakistan,
yeah.
and there are a lot of separatist people. And I got a lot of stories, like 1,000 or 2,000 stories of where Pakistan army was, involved in the killing of innocent people. Then I,
Yes.
uh, yeah, then I remember I prepared a petition in the International Court of Justice, criminal court, which is in Hague. So, and that was only my problem was to draft.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hawk where? Hawk is where?
It's in Netherlands.
Hawk. Oh, Netherlands. Okay.
Yeah. So those Baloch leaders, they take it away from me. I just my duty was just to make. To draft it on a paper, and then I handed it over to them because they were Baloch leaders and they were trying to do something. I don't know what they did with this, but I remember it was like 6 years ago. I drafted a petition in the International Court of Justice for Baloch people, for Baloch leaders, and I don't know what happened next. And I think they did it. They forward that petition in the court, but I don't know what is the outcome because I was inactive for 3 or 4 years.
But Numan, I would like to ask you one thing here. Like, what can the International Court of Justice do in such matters? Let's say
Yes,
there are gross human rights violations.
that that
Can
is
it force the government to do something, or it can only recommend? Because
no,
yeah,
no. You see, like for example, you are a citizen of Pakistan or you are a citizen of some other country, for example, and you have some obligations to this country. Yeah.
Sir, when we acquired Pakistan, we supposed to give an autonomy to Afghanistan. No, not Afghanistan, but Balochistan. Sorry. Why did not we give that?
Uh, of course, that I cannot answer your question because it is the government and it was the duty of people who were in the government. But you see, they cheated.
So we were not. We did not fulfill the duty that we're supposed to do. Eh? So we are a liar basically that we claim Kashmir. We
Yeah.
claim Balochistan.
Yes.
Balochistan people, I've talked to them. They
Yeah.
do not claim themselves as Pakistani.
Yes.
They
I
curse
know.
you out that
I
when you
know.
say they
I
curse
know.
you out when you say I'm Pakistani. No, I'm not Pakistani.
Not
Yeah.
only Baloch, now Sindhis, now Pashtun people, they are also, they are they because just because of the uh, policies of the government, just because of the policies of these past governments, and we can say the army dictators, because they are holding everything sometimes behind the doors and sometimes openly. So let me tell you, let me answer your question, Ghalib. It is that, for example, you are a citizen of a country and you have particular obligations to that country. So that is the same question with the all the countries of the world, because all these countries who are now a member of UNO and other international organizations, they have particular obligations. Your question is right that what can these international court of justice or some other international organization can do? Can they involve? Yes, they can involve. I have started a hashtag with like sanction Pakistan. It means whenever something happens, I use it. Sanction Pakistan. It means that the international community, for example, UNO, for example, other organizations, they should punish a country with sanctions if it is not providing basic human rights to its citizens. And it should happen with Pakistan, with Afghanistan, with India, and with a lot of other countries. If, for example, if Pakistan is not providing me basic human rights, what international community can do, they can block, they can make a social blockage to Pakistan. What it will do, it will understand, our government will understand that we have to do something now. And you maybe FATF, have you heard about that?
Yes, sir. FATF. Why the question about FATF to you? But why they're not putting Pakistan in a blacklist? Why they're still on a gray
You
list?
see, that organization is doing pretty much well. I mean, they, I don't know what is the process of putting into the blacklist. I mean, it is a complex thing which we can discuss later, or maybe now. But the
Okay.
thing is that it is showing some effect. So if international community is
Well,
should not.
let me tell you. Let me tell you something, sir. Let me tell you something. There are things that I cannot say it now, but the truth is, there's this is a lie. This is a lie. This is a big lie. There are things because Pakistan is not on a blacklist. There is a reason behind it. You must find out. This is your job, huh? Not mine.
No, I was
Okay, I think we should move on. Yeah. We should move on. Basically, we have kind of went a lot aside from the real topic. I asked that, can International Court of Justice
Yeah.
make a country do something or not?
yes,
Because
yes, it
rest
can.
of the UN bodies can only make recommendations. They cannot force a country to do something.
No,
And
what international court of justice, what they do, basically they if they find Pakistan, responsible for something, what they do, they basically, the process is that they make their decision, they send a copy to the government of Pakistan, and they send a copy to other some international organization, most probably UNO in the first place. Then they decide what to do with Pakistan, because International Court of Justice is just a court. It will not dictate anything to Pakistan or to any other
yeah,
country.
this
It
is
will
what I
just,
meant.
yeah, it will just take decision, and it will send this decision to the state and to other international organizations. Then they will decide what to do with Pakistan or what to do with Bangladesh or etc.
Sir, can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, I was at not Mr. but Miss Amina Sardar's show, and I've also spoke to Mr. Martin, the Dutch politician.
I think Numan knows Ramana, or yeah, yeah.
I cannot hear you well.
Yeah, I am
Hello.
saying Numan doesn't know about, he doesn't know Amna.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hello,
at
Nurani.
least you know
Yeah.
Amna Sardar. I was at her show, and I talked to Mr. Martin also at the Dutch politician also yesterday. I hope you have seen that stream, and I have said such things about Haris and yourself. Anyway, I have mentioned about no being no school in Pakistan, being much more madrasa instead of a school, and radicalization and raping and forced conversions and all that. What should we do about that?
Yeah,
Good.
that depends on education and that depends on the actions of the government as well. It is not a simple thing to deal with. These kinds of attitudes develop, over centuries, and they just don't go away in 1 year or with the strike of one pen writing something. It does not happen like that. You have to spend a lot of time in dealing with these things. Yes, Numan, what would you like to say? Yeah, Numan.
Basically, the main problem Pakistan is facing right now is that we have two systems which are
Yeah,
working and which are crushing this society at the same time and at the same speed. One system is the constitutional system, and the other system is Islamic system. Islamic system has no, I mean, that system is inherited from the Arabs, and people think that if they will not do this, for example, if they will not do this, they will be punished there after death. And that is the main reason people uh, do not take their constitutional responsibilities seriously. So
yeah,
Pakistan is,
this I agree with. Because yesterday, even I was talking about this, that
yeah,
people don't take law and order, law and the taxes imposed by government, they don't take them seriously. They
they don't
think,
pay it.
okay,
They don't pay it, but
if
they
we are
do
paying the
sadqa.
car,
They do
yeah,
sadqa. They don't pay taxes.
yeah. So, Murani, I think I'll let you go. And yeah, thank you. Sorry, I keep taking your name. Okay, Noman, would you like to put in some final words? Yeah.
The
Hello.
final words are, if we talk about the blasphemy, and if we talk about the other mess which is going on in Pakistan, and not only in Pakistan, in other some Muslim majority countries like Bangladesh, like Indonesia, and like even in India, because there are a lot of Muslims in India as well. The solution of problem, what I see in Pakistan, is not secularism, because secularism, it is a long process which will take minimum 30 to 40 years. It is just the beginning, with the help of
Yeah.
you and with the help of our people like us. The main problem will be solved is the rule of law. Pakistan
Yeah.
government, its parliament, it's what we should do. We should get in touch with the politicians. We should not just sit over here and talk. We can just write letters to the political parties, and we can just post them. They will get it, uh, because these are the people who are lawmakers. They should
Yeah.
make laws, and then the next step will be the implementation of those laws. It is the same thing which I just told you about many European countries, because many European countries, they are racist, but they cannot show their racism to you, because there is rule of law. They
Yeah.
understand that if they will come and they will say, oh, you Indian, they will get punished. That is the thing which we should, encourage to the politicians, of course. And I am very hopeful that Pakistani politicians, it doesn't matter which political party they are, there are a lot of liberal people. They just think like you and me. So
Yeah.
we should
Definitely.
reach them. We should reach them, and we should take all this thing to uh, to a way that they should make some good laws, liberal laws, secular laws, and then the next step will be the implementation of those laws. Secularism is the process. It is like the evolution of society. Just 300 years ago, uh, Christians were killing each other on the streets of of Europe.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just stopped it because they came to know that we are seculars and we should respect others.
Yeah.
So secularism, it is a long process. I mean, it is not just going to happen today or tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, it is going to take a long time. Numan, thank you for coming. This is Numan's channel, and I've given you this link here, and I'll encourage you to go and subscribe to his channel. And Numan, I would also like you to, put some things here in Roman as well, because most of the people will not be able to read Urdu, because you would also get a lot of people who are from India. They wouldn't be able to read an Urdu script, but if you put there in Roman, they would be able to understand.
Next time, I will try to come online, just like you are doing right now, from
Yeah,
my
yeah,
channel. So
yeah, yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
you tell
you guys
me.
will have a chance to interact with Numan as well on his channel. If you do subscribe, I would encourage you to go and subscribe. Numan is one of the uh, a few brilliant Pakistani activists who started this about 10 years ago, and I also followed him for a very long time. And you would also get a lot of things that you would learn from Numan, and hopefully we would see more of him on YouTube and Facebook as well. But I think no, YouTube is the main thing here. So thank you, Noman.